Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Mariana's Coffee.
Tonight on the Channel 2 News, you can now get your kicks on Route 36, but were proper erosion controls put in place on the new scenic road? Also tonight, we are in the kitchen as Saipan kids get a World War II history lesson at the local bakery. And lawmakers continue a deep dive into the Boost program, and some new subpoenas could come as early as tomorrow. In sports, it's the high school girls volleyball championships, and MHS is looking for the upset. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
What's the move? What's the move?
Let's go.
Oh, they're ready. When it comes to the good stuff,
Oh my goodness gracious.
they stay ready.
These are the two sauces.
Sweet and spicy jam and the mambo.
Look how that thing drizzle on there.
The way it's glistening, stop.
Oh my.
Sweet and spicy jam and mambo sauce are on the McDonald's menu for a limited time.
Oh my goodness.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
A new road means new access to the eastern part of the island, but it also appears to mean new access for sediment to make its way into the ocean. This area has been backfilled, but it appears to be eroding, with the soil ending up right in the ocean. Some of this occurs naturally, but without vegetation to hold this soil in place, the problem is bigger, and this drone footage taken by Ian Odebed really shows the problem on a rainy day. The road opened during rainy season. It doesn't appear that there is much to hold the sediment back from washing down. Sediment runoff is a problem, especially in the nearshore environment, and it can be exacerbated when you have current and wind pushing it back into the shore. This is the windward side of the island, meaning instead of the soil being dispersed in the ocean, it gets trapped and remains suspended for a period of time, which means you can have light limitation. Corals need sunlight to make energy. Soil in the water can stress them. Eventually, the physical particles will be pushed down, and then you have an accumulation problem where you can actually smother the reef. And soil is not like sand. They contain nutrients, bacteria, pathogens that are biologically and chemically active. GHD was the construction manager on the project. R&V was the contractor, and Duenas and Associates provided design services. We took a look at the construction of these areas. This is video from March of 2022 as these box culverts were being constructed.
Box culvert functions as a stormwater divergent, whereas once it's constructed, it is capable of mitigating and directing all the downstream from the ravines uphill, so that we won't have any issues.
We're already prepared for the wall of the retaining wall. Box culvert, that's the wall. So after that, we're tentatively gonna pour this Thursday, and basically after that we're gonna install also the forms and some rebar for the top slab.
We have contacted Fish and Wildlife and GHD for comment. The project cost about $12 million, and the new pavement ends about a mile and a half down the road. Road is currently open, and 2 beaches are now accessible. They can be quite rough, though, so the public is encouraged to exercise caution at these windward side beaches. Phase 2 will continue the paving process towards Bird Island. Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News.
Inquisitive children donned their baker's caps and aprons and filed into Herman's Bakery for a lesson in bread making and a lesson in history. Shortly after the battle for Saipan was over, the American military was searching for someone to feed those who were gathered at the internment camp in Susupi. Herman Guerrero learned how to bake at a Japanese bakery called Shimada Bakery in Garapan. After hearing of Guerrero's baking skills, the military conscripted him to feed the residents of the camp. This is Herman Guerrero Jr., son of the original Herman Guerrero and current chairman of the Herman's Modern Bakery Board.
At the Camp Susupi, they needed someone that knows how to bake bread to feed the masses within the camp and give them bread, and other things.
Guerrero's customer base expanded to include the local residents after the indigenous peoples were separated from the Japanese in Camp Susupi and brought to Camp Chalankanoa.
The military decided to provide him some equipments and the ingredients. So they provide him and started with that one. And eventually, even after the war, the military continues to provide, but then eventually they says, perhaps you can start charging them even if it's 5 cents or 10 cents. And that's how the business grew.
And thus, Herman's Modern Bakery was born. Now, nearly 80 years after its establishment, Herman's Bakery is still serving Saipan and recently gave a tour to a group of children to teach them more about local history. The tour is a part of American Memorial Park's Icons of World War II project, supported by Pacific Historical Parks. PHP Education Specialist Jovanalyn Mofnas explains more.
So really the partnership began with us wanting to feature our icons of World War II, and that may mean our locals, and that may mean also the Japanese civilians that were caught in between, our military soldiers that were in the war. And so we really wanted to highlight these specific figures that really made a difference in cinema history. And so one of those figures, of course, is our very own local figure, Herman Pon Guerrero, who really everybody and all our youth today, they see on a daily basis with the breads on the shelf and what they eat every day. And so it was really fun for the kids to learn about how he became a baker.
Tomorrow afternoon, a House panel will meet about federal assistance that was used for the Boost program during the pandemic. Chaired by Ralph Umel, the committee will discuss issuing subpoenas for former Governor Ralph Torres, his former Chief of Staff Will Castro, and former Secretary of Finance David Attelig. Committee also wants to talk to Robert Trevilla, Selena Sapp, and Shane Villanueva. During the tail end of the Torres administration, House panel began Boost hearings. They heard from Bank of Saipan, the administrator of the program. They also listened to testimony from Will Castro and Jesus Taisegui, who were decision makers on who was awarded about $17 million of money to local businesses.
It seems like every time one of the panel members will recuse himself on a company or a business, that business got boosted. And then that business would also get a second boost while the other businesses haven't even been reviewed.
The program was wrought with allegations of insider influence during the election cycle. Thousands of companies applied for funding, but there appeared to be no system in place for fairly evaluating the different organizations, their track record, and their business plans. Many applicants got new business license to apply for the money and received awards. The Bank of Saipan, who was placed in charge of administering the program, also applied for and received one of the bigger Boost awards, and several companies received multiple rounds of funding, while it was unclear if other companies even had their submissions evaluated. Here is testimony and Q&A from Taisagui in December in front of a House panel. Taisagui was asked about several awards that went to a business associate of his.
You expect these chairs, these councils, myself, my colleagues, everyone else who has been watching this, whatever you want to call it, to believe that your business associate somehow, some way, by coincidence, received 10% of the total amount of the Boost program that was awarded originally. 10% meaning $1 million. That somehow one person who happens to be your business associate and business partner miraculously received 10% of the entire amount that was originally awarded for the Boost program. Sir, you mean to tell all of us that this is just sheer coincidence?
Ito recusal, so establish on a recusal. Now, to answer your question, to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my recollections, and está established todo en.
I've established all of that. You recused yourself. Okay, you've told us that. You've recused yourself. But there's no proof of that, sir. And that is the most troubling thing when I say that, because you have zero records, which, by the way, is required by law. You must make that statement. It must be written in the minutes. That is a Commonwealth law. Yet you guys did not take any minutes whatsoever. There's been no records of anything turned in to this committee because they do not simply exist.
House panel is scheduled to meet tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. The FBI raided the Bank of Saipan. No charges have been filed.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month. Plus, a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
Get your goods here with care and attention with Micronesia Air Cargo Services. MAX is all about connections. Daily flights to and from Guam, 4 times a week to Rota, and bi-weekly flights to Tinian. We are connecting the Marianas. Perishable goods, Home Depot furniture and appliances, even live animals, operating since 2013. Check out our Thursday special to Rota from Guam and Saipan. Call Max at 670-288-6227. If it fits, we'll take it.
One of the best addresses in Saipan has office space available now, right in the heart of things. The Marianas Business Plaza offers reasonable rates and can help build to suit your needs. You'll love the central location, just 15 minutes from the airport and 10 minutes from Garapan. Ample and covered parking keeps your vehicle close and protected. 2 restaurants for easy access, lunch, dinner and business meetings. Building security and 24-hour access to your office. Backup generators, so you can run your business in all weather. And 3 elevators mean easy and convenient access. It's the address in Saipan, the Marianas Business Plaza.
Our neighbors to the south in Guam are introducing a bill that would legalize consumer-grade fireworks. Democratic Senator Dwayne T.D. San Nicolas says he wants to make Guam fun again. He's the author of the bill that he says would bring back something from his childhood, and he notes that they are already legal in the Northern Marianas and were once legal on Guam. He says that if legalized, it will prevent the dangerous practice of using firearms as a substitute for fireworks. The bill is co-sponsored by 8 other senators. A Chinese man who picked up over $1 million worth of crystal meth hidden in lava lamps had 4 active arrest warrants dating back to 2019 when he was arrested for possession. The United States wants Liang Yang detained pending trial on drug charges that could carry a penalty of 20 years in prison. Assistant U.S. Attorney Bubba Flores says in his filing that Yang was invited by Imperial Pacific to come to Saipan to introduce VIP guests to games at the casino and use the tourist parole system to enter Saipan. Yang is a citizen of the People's Republic of China and does not have lawful immigration status in the NMI. He made 5 separate entries into Saipan under the tourist parole program, the last one being in January of 2019, which means he's now overstayed for the last 4, almost 5 years. Despite no lawful immigration status, Yang was able to get 3 driver's licenses from the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, 2 on Saipan and 1 on Rota, and made a living as a shuttle driver from the airport for tourists. Flores also says that Yang is tied up with drug traffickers that supply Guam and Saipan with meth, with money exchanges being done over WeChat. Yang apparently told authorities that he agreed to receive the package of lava lamps in order to make some money, and apparently knew there was drugs in the package and said a similar package was set to arrive in a couple of days, and he had the tracking number. A lot of the evidence is filed under seal. Yang was arrested on September the 27th. About 2,700 grams of liquid meth was in the mailed lava lamps, worth more than $1 million on the streets of Saipan. Customs say they discovered the drugs during a routine package inspection. Yang is being represented by attorney Vincent Semin. Jury trial currently set for December the 5th.
For 20 years, the Humanities Council has honored the legacy of poet Valentine Singabao with an annual poetry competition. Valentine Singabao was a Palauan poet who lived in Saipan. Singabao moved to Saipan in the mid-70s, just before the adoption of the Covenant Agreement. Many of his poems had themes of change and cultural identity.
We collected those poems. We got permission from his wife, I believe her name is Antonina Singabao, back in, this was maybe 2003. And she gave us permission to collect his work and publish it in a book. So we published the book and we decided, how can we push this out to our community so it's appreciated? So we created this poetry competition.
The competition is broken up in 2 categories between the high school division and the middle school division. Middle schoolers were judged on how well they recited a poem written by Singabao and their ability to interpret and explain said poem. This is 13-year-old Gianna Lang from Dan Dan Middle School, who won first place in the middle school division. She recited the poem Nietalok. In a mix-up of the winners' names, Lang was announced as the second place winner, but was quickly corrected as placing first. Here's what she had to say after the competition.
I was really happy that when they said that I'd won second, and when they said that they made a mistake, well, I had a moment of oh no, maybe I didn't win anything at all. But then they called me as first, and I was just really surprised and happy and grateful.
The high school division students wrote and recited an original poem. This was the moment that it was announced that Yurong Jiang won the top prize in the senior division. Jiang won the top prize in last year's competition as well. She explains the meaning of her poem.
I was thinking about what or how this island makes me feel like I belong in here, because obviously I'm not a Pacific Islander. I came from China as an immigrant. So as I was growing up, I actually came in contact with more Pacific Islanders than I have with my own people. So this whole poem is actually inspired by my childhood process, my growth.
Leo Pangilinan talks about the cultural relevance of Valentine Singabao.
Singabao sort of was a trailblazer in asking those deep questions and relating it to the times, which in a lot of ways is still relevant to our youth today. And we see that and we experience that every time we have this competition. There's a different level of connection to those themes that are, each generation of students that write original poetry to those themes bring to this competition.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537. Premium office space available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Upgrade your work-life balance and enjoy a distinctive blend of location and nature with open spaces and ocean views. It's the perfect place for creative professionals who want real results. Call us at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to go over the kettlebell deadlift. Fantastic exercise to build overall strength, particularly in the legs and hips. Remember, we want to make sure that our setup is in good position. If you set up in a bad position, it's not going to look good and it's certainly not going to feel good. So a common error setup is obviously a rounded upper back. 2 simple ways of correcting that. All I'm gonna have Vince do here is extend his arms up here, and all he's gonna do is think about reaching long and pushing his hips back. Reach long and push your hips back. So as you can see, he's already in good position. Now all he's gonna do is grab that kettlebell. He's got tension in his legs and in his back. All he's gonna do is just stand up tall, finish with his glutes.
Buenas sports fans.
This is the moment when the MHS Dolphins won against the Grace Christian Academy Eagles, putting their 6-year winning streak in jeopardy. MHS won in the first round, scoring 21-16 in the first set, 14-21 in the second set, and 11-15 in the third set. This meant that if MHS could secure another win, GCA would be dethroned after being the 6-year reigning champions. The Eagles' first finals round loss didn't stop them, though. They came back with a vengeance, winning the first set 23-21 and winning the second set 21-16, securing their championship status for the 7th year in a row. This is the moment when Grace Christian Academy took the win. As you can see, their win was met with a range of emotions, some screaming from excitement and some crying from joy. This is the Eagles' coach, Isella Steves. After 3 seasons coaching the girls, this was her final game with the Eagles.
Before this championship, the day before, I already told them, like, if we're gonna get this championship, it's gonna be memorable for me because it's gonna be my last season and we're gonna be leaving soon. We're gonna be off island, so they didn't break my heart, so they give me the championship. That's why I have like full of emotions. I'm gonna miss these people and that's gonna miss these students.
Eunice Pagaduan, setter for Grace Christian Academy, scored the game-winning point. She shares what was going through her mind during the round.
It was such a awe moment for me. That was something I was not expecting, but I knew in my mind, I knew in the team's mind and the coach's mind that it was our game and we were able to get that championship. And so sticking to that player's mindset really helped me get that serve over, get the team together, and I think it's just all about communication. We were able to make the
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
Taking a look at our weather tonight, partly cloudy with isolated showers. Northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with lows around 78 and a 20% chance of showers. Tuesday through Wednesday night, partly cloudy with isolated showers. East winds around 10 miles per hour. We'll have highs of 88 with lows of 78 and a 20% chance of showers. Low tide will be 1.5 feet at 10:01 p.m. before going up to 1.7 feet at 1:47 a.m. tomorrow morning. Low tide tomorrow will be 0 feet at 9:27 a.m. before going up to 2.2 feet at 4:57 p.m. tomorrow evening.